Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Before we start, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us keep creating better and better content for you. At the end, share your feedback or any insights you had while listening. Let's begin. Most people want better decisions, better relationships, better career, better English. But they forget something simple. All of that begins in one place: the way you think. If your thinking is confused, emotional all the time, full of assumptions, full of mental noise, your decisions will be like that too. Clear thinking is not knowing everything, being super intelligent, never feeling emotions. Clear thinking is seeing reality more honestly, separating facts from stories, asking better questions, slowing down your mind before you act. When you think clearly, you suffer less from problems you created in your imagination. You waste less time on decisions that do not matter. You move faster on the things that truly do. Your life does not change only because you work harder. Your life changes when you think better about where to put your energy. Part 2. Facts versus stories. What is really happening? Your mind is a storyteller. Something happens, and immediately, your brain creates a story about it. For example, your friend reads your message and does not answer. Fact: they did not answer yet. Story: they are angry. I did something wrong. They do not care about me. At work, your boss says, "We need to talk tomorrow." Fact: you have a conversation tomorrow. Story: I am in trouble. I will lose my job. I am a failure. With English, in a meeting, someone asks you a question and you freeze for a few seconds. Fact: you froze for a few seconds. Story: my English is terrible. Everybody thinks I'm stupid. I should never speak again. Clear thinking begins with this habit. Separate facts from stories. Ask yourself, what exactly happened? What do I know for sure? What am I adding from my fear, my insecurity, my past? When you see the difference, you suffer less from your stories and respond more to the facts. Your emotions are real, but the story behind them is not always true. Clear thinking respects your feelings, but does not let them write the entire movie alone. Part 3. Emotional thinking versus calm thinking. You cannot think clearly with a flooded mind. When you are very angry, very anxious, very afraid, very excited, your brain is not in clarity mode. It is in defend myself, protect my image, avoid pain. In that state, you will probably exaggerate problems, minimize your power, say things you do not mean, make decisions you later regret. So one rule of clear thinking is, do not trust big decisions made in big emotions. You can feel the emotion, but you do not need to decide from it. For example, you feel like quitting English because you had a bad conversation. Emotional thinking says, I am done. This is useless. Calm thinking says, this hurts. I feel ashamed. I will not decide today. I will rest, and tomorrow I will decide from a calmer place. Clear thinking is not cold. It is patient. It allows emotions to pass before choosing a direction. A good question to ask is, if I felt calm and safe right now, what would I think about this situation? Often, the answer is very different from what your panicked mind is saying. Part 4. Thinking clearly about English. The truth versus your drama. Let's apply this directly to English. Many learners do not suffer from English itself. They suffer from their thoughts about English. Thoughts like, I will never be fluent. Everybody speaks better than me. I am too old. I started too late. I always forget everything. Native speakers will laugh at me. Most of these are not facts. They are mental habits. Clear thinking about English means asking better questions such as, is it true that I never improve? What has actually improved in the last 6 months? Is it true that everybody speaks better? Or am I only comparing myself to the best people in the room? Is age really the problem? Or is it consistency, fear, and strategy? Do I have any evidence that people laugh at me? Or is this only a fear inside my mind? Thinking clearly also means being honest about responsibility. Instead of, English is impossible, you think? English is possible, but the way I am practicing is not enough yet. What needs to change? Clear thinking does not attack you. It does not say, you are useless. Clear thinking is more like a coach. Here is the reality. Here is where you are. Here is what you can do next. Less drama, more clarity, more progress. Part 5. Mental clutter. Why you feel confused all the time. Sometimes you do not think clearly for a simple reason. Your mind is full. Too many open tabs, unfinished tasks, old conversations, regrets from the past, worries about the future, notifications, messages, videos, content. You try to think about one important thing, but 20 other things are shouting in the background. It is like trying to read a book in the middle of a concert. Clear thinking needs mental space. There are 2 kinds of clutter. External clutter. Too much information, noise, distractions. Internal clutter. Thoughts that repeat and repeat, but never move forward. To reduce external clutter, you can spend some minutes without your phone. Close extra tabs when you study. Stop jumping between 10 tasks at once. To reduce internal clutter, you can write your thoughts on paper. Make a list of everything you are worrying about. Decide which things you can act on today and which things you must simply accept for now. When you put thoughts outside your head, your mind becomes lighter. Then you can think deeper, slower, and with more honesty. A crowded mind cannot see clearly. Sometimes the most intelligent thing you can do for your thinking is not try harder, but remove noise. Part 6. 3 simple questions to think more clearly, especially about English. Let's transform this into something you can actually use. When you feel stuck, confused, emotional, or dramatic about English or life, pause and ask these 3 questions. Question 1. What are the facts? Write or say, what happened that a camera could record? For example, with English. In today's meeting, I did not understand some parts. When they asked me something, I needed extra time to answer, and I made grammar mistakes. Stay with the facts. No adjectives like horrible, disaster, ridiculous. Just, what happened? Question 2. What story am I adding? Now identify the story. Everybody thinks I am stupid. I will never improve. They regret hiring me. My English is pathetic. These are not facts. These are interpretations. Just by seeing that, you create distance. You realize, I am not my story. I am the one watching the story appear. Question 3. Given the facts, what is one intelligent next step? Not 10 steps. 1. For example, I will write down the words I could not say today and practice them. I will ask a colleague to repeat some concepts so I'm ready for the next meeting. I will book 15 minutes tomorrow to practice speaking about today's topics. Clear thinking always comes back to this. What can I do now that respects reality and moves me forward even a little bit? That question alone can cut 50% of your mental drama. Part 7. Overthinking versus clear thinking. When thinking too much makes you blind, thinking clearly is not the same as thinking all the time. There is a point where thinking becomes spinning in circles, repeating the same worries, imagining worst-case scenarios, creating problems that are not happening. This is overthinking. Overthinking feels like you are working hard mentally, you are being responsible, you are trying to control everything. But in reality, you are not deciding, you are not acting, you are not moving. You are just exhausting your brain. Clear thinking is different. Clear thinking looks at reality, asks a few good questions, chooses one direction, accepts that there will always be risk. With English, overthinking looks like, what if I say this wrong? What if they think I am stupid? What if I do not understand the answer? What if I freeze again? You imagine 100 possible problems and forget the simple fact. The only way to know is to open your mouth and speak. Clear thinking with English sounds more like, I will probably make mistakes. Some people might not understand me. I might feel embarrassed sometimes. But the only way to reduce all of that is to practice in real life. So instead of asking, what if everything goes wrong? You ask, what is the next useful thing I can do with my English today? Overthinking keeps you trapped in imagination. Clear thinking brings you back to action. Part 8. Thinking clearly about your future. Without paralyzing yourself. Many people are afraid of the future, not because of the future itself, but because of how they think about it. They imagine the future as one giant final decision, one perfect path, one moment where everything must be right. So when they think about career, relationships, English, life direction, they feel pressure, fear of regret, fear of choosing wrong, analysis paralysis. Clear thinking about the future starts with 3 truths. First truth, you cannot control everything. Second truth, you will not have 100% certainty. Third truth, you will adjust as you move. Instead of asking, what is the perfect decision for my entire life? You can ask, what is a good decision for my next season? Seasons could be the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next year. With English, instead of, what is the perfect method to become fluent forever? Clear thinking asks, in the next 3 months, what is one simple plan I can follow that fits my real life? Then you choose when you will practice, how long you will practice, what specific activities you will focus on, and you test that plan. At the end of the season, you ask, what worked? What did not work? What can I change? Your future becomes a series of experiments, not one final exam. This removes a huge weight from your mind and allows you to think more calmly. Part 9. A simple clarity ritual for your mind and for English. Let's turn all of this into a small daily or weekly practice. You can use it for life decisions and also specifically for English. Step 1. Empty your mind on paper. Take a few minutes and write everything you are worried about, everything that is repeating in your head, every fear or frustration about English, work, life. Do not organize. Do not judge. Just empty. This removes internal clutter so you can see what is actually there. Step 2. Highlight the facts. Look at what you wrote and ask, What here is a fact, and what is a story? Underline the facts. For example, I did not understand part of the meeting. I avoided speaking when I had the chance. I studied English only twice this week. These are facts. Thoughts like, I am horrible. I will never improve. Everybody thinks I am stupid. These are stories. Step 3. Choose one area to focus on. Ask, in all of this, which area deserves my attention now? Maybe it is English, health, finances, a relationship, a specific project. Do not try to fix everything at once. Clarity loves focus. Step 4. Ask the 3 clarity questions. For that one area, ask 1. What are the facts? 2. What story am I adding? 3. Given the facts, what is one intelligent next step? Write the answers. With English, it might look like 1. Facts. I avoid speaking in meetings. When I speak, I get nervous and make mistakes. I do not practice speaking alone, only passive listening. 2. Story. I am not made for English. People at work will never respect my level. I am too slow and too old. 3. One intelligent next step. Every weekday, I will practice speaking for 10 minutes alone about my work topics, and once a week, I will say at least one thing in a meeting. Step 5. Commit to a small experiment. Treat your decision like a test, not a tattoo. You can say, for the next 2 weeks, I will follow this small plan. After that, I will review and adjust. This removes pressure and invites curiosity. Your question becomes, let me see what happens if I'm consistent with this small step, instead of, I must fix my whole life now. This is clear thinking in action. You have reached the end of Think Clearly here on English Rise. Today, you discovered that thinking clearly is not about knowing everything, being a genius. Erasing your emotions. Thinking clearly is about separating facts from the stories your fear tells you. Waiting for emotions to calm down before you decide. Reducing mental noise so your mind can finally breathe. Asking simple, intelligent questions instead of dramatic ones. Applied to English, clear thinking means stopping automatic phrases like, I am horrible, I will never be fluent. Looking honestly at your real progress and your real habits. Taking responsibility for what you can change. Designing small, concrete next steps instead of living in vague frustration. From now on, when your mind starts exaggerating problems, attacking your value, predicting the worst future, pause and ask, what are the facts? What story am I adding? Given the facts, what is one intelligent next step? Every time you do that, you clean the window between you and reality. And with a cleaner window, you do not need a perfect mind. You just need the courage to look honestly and move forward one clear decision at a time.